What's up, guys? So welcome back. I don't know what episode this is anymore, but I pretty much replaced the back tires to the front, so we got two 35/40s up front now, and I am lowering the coilovers down 1 inch. So I already spun this down. It was all the way right here, and I spun this down about 1 inch on each side on the rears, so these can fit flush, not cambered in and all that junk. I'm not all about that. So I'm gonna put this on. I already did the other side. Already put a tire on the other side also, and we're gonna put it down. We're gonna roll it back and forth so it settles a little bit, and then we're gonna see what it looks like. So I took it out for a drive, and I mean, it's okay. It rides pretty good, actually. It's just, as you can tell, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to this thing. The tires that I put on the front, they're actually okay. They don't rub or anything like that. So I might just leave that size up front for now, but the back, I think I'm just gonna leave these big tires for now. Yes, I know what it looks like. It looks like a drag car of some sort. Obviously it's not. I'm looking for a stance look, but it doesn't look too bad, but it's not quite what I'm going for. But at least I know that it does not rub. So if anything, after I start doing the body work and everything like that, I know that I'm not gonna have to redo nothing, because if I put small tires over here, it'll be fine. The other thing I know that I have to do is the engine mounts. I just took it for a drive, hella shaky. The idle's perfectly fine. It's just super shaky, and I know that the rubbers over there were all messed up and old and nobody has ever changed them, so I'm almost 99% sure the engine mounts are bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and order some engine mounts. Maybe the tranny mount, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm just gonna go with engine mounts first, and then if anything, I'll do the tranny mount. I know that the wheel bearings in the back are making noise. I don't know if I should do all of this stuff before I start doing the body work, or I'll start doing the body work and I'll do the engine mounts and everything like that. So we'll see what happens first. Yeah, and I did get my JDM lights in. They are super nice. 150 bucks, that's what it cost me. I have a guy here, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, that does these. I'm gonna actually leave his name in my description, and you guys can get a hold of him through Facebook. He has allowed me to put his name on this video, so he did a very good job. As you can tell, they're not you know, the OEM ones, but I mean, look at him, they very nice. Only thing I have to do is buff this section off because he didn't touch it, but look at these lights, nice. Obviously this, I'm gonna take all of this off, sand it down, primer this, and spray it black. And then, like I talked in my previous video, this section, and this section, I'm gonna re-primer, and then I'm gonna paint professionally black. So pretty much it's gonna be nice and black right here, and I'm gonna fill in this hole and then professionally paint this black. And obviously I'll take this up, this will still work. So it's gonna look super sick. So I can't wait to start doing that. So I'm gonna start with this little air grinder. I'm gonna start grinding all the rust off, making sure it goes down to bare metal. I'm gonna go ahead, there's a dent right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grind this little spot so I can know that that's where I'm gonna fix that dent. Bumpers need to be fixed up. Everywhere that needs work, I'm gonna go ahead and grind down a little bit, and then I'm gonna start bondoing. So we got some rust right here where the lid is. I'm gonna grind this down some more. I'm gonna fill this in with Bondo. I don't know if this is the proper way to do it, but I am not taking this off. I know that I will break it if I take, you know, this thing off. So we're gonna go ahead and grind this down a little more, and then we're gonna fill it in, and then we're gonna sand it. So I went ahead and put this little piece in there so it doesn't fall through, and then I'm gonna fill this in also. Fill this in. I'm gonna start filling in with Bondo. I grinded this down all the way to the metal. I'm gonna do it a little more so there's no more rust, and then I'm gonna fill this in also. So we'll get to it. So I'm going to be using some Evercoat Super Everflex lightweight filler. Haven't used this in like a couple years because I don't really do body work, but you know, this is a project, so whatever. I'm not a professional at this, but anybody that can watch a YouTube video can do this. So I'm gonna mix this up real quick. I have my ghetto board right here. Put some on here. I have some hardener somewhere, and we'll mix it up and we'll get to it. Yeah, there's the hardener. Some old crap. But yeah, then I'm gonna start filling in the holes. So I went ahead and put my first coat on. It's gonna take like 30 minutes or something to dry, maybe even longer. I don't know how much hardener I put in there, probably not much. As you can tell, I'm not a professional, don't judge me. This is my maybe third or fourth time bondoing, period. And I knew I had to put a small coat or big coat, but I just had to jam all that stuff in there so it fills it in, you know what I'm saying? Same thing as this. I try to jam it in as much as I can, and then when it dries, I'm gonna sand it down flat, then I'm gonna put some more on, and I'm gonna make it flatter. This already dried, and I couldn't even put anything in there. Same thing with this, the hole. I have to push it in and fill it in, and then I have to, after it dries, I'm gonna scuff it, and I'm gonna do another layer. This is gonna be 3-4 times like this, putting on layers after layers, making sure it's sanding down and making sure it's smooth. So yeah, don't be judging me yet. I'm a little noob at this, I know, but just give me some time. I will perfect this. I will make this body of this Z perfect. So let's wait until it dries. Since this is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the taillights again, take off the bumpers, the back and front bumper, because I need to take them off anyways, and it's about that time to start prepping everything, sanding it, everything, so I'll get to it. So most of these lights, you just unscrew this, take it out, and then unclip this tab. Same thing for the front. And then, like I explained in all the video, this bumper has a bunch of bolts that go around. Dude, there's like 20 of them, and unscrew that rear bumper and it should fly out. The front one, I tell you the truth, I have no clue how to do, except now I found out. Okay, so there's bolts right here. You take this cover off for the intake, and obviously there's a bolt right here, and then these just screw off like that, and then they take out. Same thing as that one, and then probably splash guards from underneath. So we'll see. Damn. So that was a pain. Pretty much this bumper was replaced before, obviously, so they didn't put most of the bolts in, but whatever. This metal thing, I'm just gonna delete, because it holds on like the plastic thing that I deleted, and like there's another bolt right here that it doesn't really matter, but there's 2 bolts here, one right here, and it'll hold it perfectly fine. And I'm gonna connect it to the splash guard right here, so I'm gonna delete that metal piece. Front bumper wasn't as bad as I thought. Pretty much it's hanging on these 2 bolts right here on each side, and then on each of those sides, and you got to take the fog light out, and you got to blah, blah, blah. It was a pain. The bumpers are right there. But that wasn't the worst part. I think the worst part was the rear bumper, because literally I counted 25, like a bunch of screws and clips, 25 total. That's what holds on the back bumper. I should have just left it on. I should have just painted it with it, but I was already doing it, so might as well do it the proper way. So yeah, the bumpers are off. Start scuffing the bumpers up, making them perfect. I'm gonna delete this right here so the intake can be sticking out nice and firm, like and then yeah, we'll go from there. So we'll see what happens. So it's nice and dry already. We have some 80 grit right here. We're gonna smooth it out and see if there's any more work needed. Obviously this is 80 grit, this is the first stage, and even if we get it as smooth as we can, we still have to put another finish layer on it. And if this is complete, this is complete. We're gonna go same thing as this one, and then obviously this one needs hella work because it kind of started drying up on me while I was doing it. So obviously this is like 3-4 more times over here. This one I taped up a little bit so I don't scuff up some of this garbage, and then I'm going to start over here. So yeah, I'm going to do the whole car with 80 and show you how it is. guess my only advice to you guys whenever you're doing this and you're putting Bondo down is, I'm not a professional, but there's your mark. Stand this way, switch it. Stand this way, switch it. Stand this way. I mean, that or this, and then after you're done, blow on it. So she said, and then put your hand with your palm or whatever. I do like with the fingers and palm, and there's still a hump, so I have to sand this some more. I mean, same thing with the corner ones and everything. Just sand it with 80 at first, and then you feel it, and then you add or you don't. I mean, it's just by feel. And then when you primer it, I will go through it, and then you'll see even more right after you primer it. So we're gonna do the other side of this. I peeled some of this stuff off. When it dries, it's really hard. You can just like break it off. We're gonna do a little more, mix it up, and do another layer. So I did the second layer, and it looks better. I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow to sand this, and then that should be it. So we'll see what else kind of damage I find. Little dots here and there I'll fix. The bumpers themselves are pretty horrible, especially the rear one, which I'm gonna just scuff it with 80 grit, and then I'm gonna primer the whole bumper. That's later when I'm gonna primer. This is already pre-primered, but I don't trust this. I'm gonna scuff it with 400 grit, or I think it's like 1000 grit, or I'm just gonna rough stuff it, and then I'm gonna re-primer this myself, because I don't trust this stock primer on this aftermarket bumper. But yeah, that should be it for this episode. Appreciate you guys for watching. This car looks pretty beast right now without a bumper, and it looks ugly, but I like it. I like ugly. Other than that, see you guys next time.